Take it off, the liberal TV host demanded, his voice laced with authority, expecting instant compliance. It wasn't a request. It was an order. Karoline Leavitt stood at the center of the room, the target of his demand. Young, unwavering, and unapologetically faithful, she exuded a quiet strength. The object of controversy, a simple, gleaming necklace resting against her collarbone, a symbol of her faith, of her belief in God, of something deeper than mere jewelry. All eyes locked on her as tension thickened. This wasn't just about a piece of metal and chain. It was an attempt to humiliate, to strip her of her convictions inch by inch. But what followed was something extraordinary, a testament to grace under fire. Who is Karoline Leavitt? A fighter, a leader, a voice for those who often feel unheard. She had just finished a press conference speaking on unity, free speech, and the right to express one's beliefs without fear. But clearly, not everyone in the room valued those principles. The TV host had a grudge. Their past exchanges had been heated, but this time, it wasn't about politics. It was personal. Take it off, he repeated, louder, daring her to refuse. The room fell silent. Even those who might have agreed with him shifted uncomfortably. This was no longer a debate. It was a test. Karoline didn't flinch. Instead, she tilted her head ever so slightly, a small, knowing smile forming at the corner of her lips. Then, with a calm that commanded attention, she responded, "You want me to take it off? My faith?" she asked, her voice steady, unwavering. "Because that's what this necklace represents. My faith, my relationship with God, my strength. And you're asking me to remove it because you disagree with it?" There was no anger in her words, no defiance, just clarity. And suddenly, the conversation wasn't about a necklace anymore. It was about something far more profound. To understand this moment, you need to understand Karoline Leavitt. She wasn't born into privilege. She didn't inherit power or influence. She grew up in a modest home where faith wasn't just spoken about on Sundays. It was a way of life. Her parents taught her that true strength comes from standing firm in what you believe, even when it's unpopular. Faith isn't about shouting louder than others, her mother had told her. It's about living with conviction, even when no one else does. From high school debates to college lectures, she had always been willing to stand alone if it meant standing for what was right. And she had learned that courage, when displayed with grace, can earn respect even from those who disagree with you. So, on that day, in that room, she did what she had always done. She stood firm. She took a deep breath and spoke. Not to fight, but to reveal a truth larger than the moment itself. "I'm sorry if my necklace makes you uncomfortable," she said, her voice even. "But I have to ask, why? Are you really offended by a piece of jewelry? Or by what it represents?" A shift in the air. A flicker of hesitation on the host's face. "This necklace," she continued, gently holding it between her fingers, "isn't just an accessory. It's a reminder of the strength I found in my darkest hours, of the values I strive to uphold. Love, kindness, the belief that every person has worth, regardless of whether they share my faith or not." The room remained silent. Even the host, ready for confrontation, hesitated. But Karoline wasn't finished. "I don't wear this to impose my beliefs on anyone. God gives everyone the gift of free will, the choice to follow him or not. I respect that deeply. But I wear this because it reminds me of something you can't see. The battles I've fought, the strength I've gained, not by my own power but by God's grace." She paused, letting her words settle. The cameras flashed. Pen scribbled. But the energy in the room had changed. "You say I should take it off, as if my faith is something I can remove as easily as you think. But my faith isn't a decoration. It's not something I put on in the morning and leave behind at night. It's who I am. It informs every decision I make, every policy I support, every interaction I have. And I say this knowing that not everyone believes the same as I do, and that's okay. Now, she wasn't just speaking to the host. She was speaking to everyone in the room. To everyone who had ever felt silenced, attacked, or ashamed for their beliefs. I wear this not because my faith makes me better than anyone else, but because it reminds me to be better. Better than I was yesterday. Better to my family. Better to strangers who may need kindness more than I realize. That is what my faith symbolizes. And if that offends you, then maybe it's not my necklace that's the issue. Maybe it's something only you can reconcile. The host opened his mouth to respond but hesitated. He looked at her, then at the cameras, grappling with the weight of her words. He had come ready to embarrass her, to paint her as a hypocrite, but instead, she had calmly, gracefully, exposed his bias. Not with aggression, but with truth. Then, Karoline delivered the words that many would later call the defining moment of her career. Unity isn't about making everyone the same. It's about respecting the differences that make us who we are. This necklace may symbolize my faith, but what unites us is so much bigger than any symbol. It's found in how we treat each other, how we listen, how we build bridges instead of burning them. If you disagree with me, I welcome the discussion. But I won't hide who I am, and I wouldn't ask you to either. The room erupted in applause. The host, visibly shaken, gave a small nod, perhaps realizing that in that moment, he too had been shown grace. What began as an attack ended in an unexpected moment of reflection. Some called it a victory for Karoline. Others called it a victory for something greater. Faith, resilience, and the courage to stand firm without tearing others down. And as for the necklace, it stayed right where it belonged, proudly worn by a woman who refused to shrink in the face of adversity. Because true strength isn't found in the symbols we wear. It's found in the principles we live by.